Ladies and gentlemen, excuse us, we had small technical issues, but we are back here with our two Hearthstone casters, Alex Hansen and Zeraba. Welcome, boys, and I'll start right off with my question. I already asked you beforehand, but would you dare give us a little prediction, your caster's expert prediction for this final?
Done. I mean, although I would say, as Bozo also said, that Strike is probably the most with the best results on the scene this season and for the previous seasons as well. And I think he would be a bit ahead. Although Hearthstone is also an RNG game, and there's also this small part of whoever draws the good card at the right moment. So I would say a 3-2 for one of both players, and hope it's a close match. And whoever has the best gameplay today, or a bit more luck than the other, wins. But I'm seeing a close match here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty close. Like, both players have almost the same lineup, as Bozo said earlier. Like, the difference is one of them got OTK and the other one got Token Druid. And in both lineups, their extra deck, like the fourth one, is actually the worst lining up against the others. So it's going to be who throws best in both scenarios. Like, those are also decks that opponents don't really interact with. Like, when you're playing against DH, it's basically is it gonna kill you fast enough that you can't pull the OTK, or the Token Druid on the other side is kind of the same. Like, it gets like very blowing up starts with like either the Glowfly, either the Gibberling. Then like, yeah, it's a 1/1 that, yeah, you can replicate it, and so yeah, it's gonna be mostly draw dependent on both sides. So we'll see. I can't really predict one winning over the other.
Nice. Cool, thank you very much. I'm not sure if I'm still on the screen, but if I am, I'll leave you guys to your analysis. Thank you very much for your prediction. As always, in Hearthstone, it's a little bit difficult.
Thank you, Rita.
Yes, thank you very much for being here, everybody watching the stream. Welcome to the final of Hearthstone from the SEL by BRACK, and I'm here with Rabin. Thank you very much for joining me today for casting.
Hello, Alex. Well, it's a pleasure. It's great to be back to offline events. I think the last one was Switzerland, back in October or November or something. So yeah, Corona obviously is a bit annoying. It's always cool to be in LANs and be with friends and be able to crack some cold ones. So yeah, it's great to be there. Also, the venue at the Europe Lounge in Bern is great. Like, it's like you get in the ambient. Like, there are players on my left playing Magic. So it's like, yeah, all around card games. It's cool. And yeah, obviously the final against Bozo and StrikeReaper is always great. Like, those are two of the best players the Swiss scene has ever seen. So it's cool. Like, yeah, hope it's going to be a good match.
So we've already given our predictions, which wasn't very clear because obviously, as Rabin said, they're the best players of the scene and very regular for the past couple of years. But yeah, it's really nice to be back live, to be seeing the players in person, to be in a cool venue like this. It really feels like a LAN again. Hopefully, we'll see a lot more of this in the couple of weeks and months. So it's really nice to be here live. Also, haven't seen you in a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
So all these small details make the event a lot better. And of course, thanks to all of you for joining us and spending the afternoon with us watching Hearthstone. We already talked about the lineups a little bit. What do you think? So in Conquest, the starting deck as well doesn't change much. So it's a lot of random, I think.
Yeah,
today.
I mean, in Conquest, I know some top players just go on random.org and they have like 1, 2, and 3 is one of the deck, and they just press the button and they're gonna pick the one that gets picked randomly. Like, it doesn't really matter the queue order unless you're really targeting something, which is not what they're doing at the moment. So we should see, like, maybe we're gonna see like 2 mirrors. Like, they both have Miracle Rogues and Rush Warrior. So those are gonna be the interesting ones. They play almost the same list in Warrior, but the main difference for both players is that they have an extra win condition, let's say, more of a refill. Like, one is StrikeReaper is playing, I think it's called Sorfang in English. It's a 7 mana thing that makes you, like, it summons back 2 friends and minions, and then it deals 1 damage to all minion, which makes you trigger those again. and Bozo is playing Nzoth. Nzoth?
Yeah,
in English?
Nazov.
Yeah, Nzoth as a 9 mana card that's gonna resummon one of each minion type you played during this game. And so, like, they're both not the best cards in the decks, but in the mirror in particular, they can both do great in the sense that it's going to be an extra refill if you get it and your opponent doesn't have the resources to keep playing the game. Like, it might make you pull ahead, but they're also pretty commonly just cards that's going to sit in your hand and not do much. So we'll see how it pans out. As for the Miracle Rogue Mirror, like, yeah, one is gonna draw Octobot and do like crazy stuff with a fully discounted hand, while the other is gonna likely just cry and just watch him get rolled over.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I've really seen it one-sided, most of the Miracle Rogue mirrors.
Yeah.
It's not like when you used to interact, it's just whoever does the best
Yeah.
Octobot and whoever has the best follow-up.
or they might both have nothing, and
Yeah.
then we might have an interesting game, I'd say.
And if we look back, it's pretty interesting as well because they also faced each other in the final of the winner bracket. So it's kind of a rematch as well. I think the final, which Bozo won, and StrikeReaper had to go back through the loser bracket and to go back through this kind of revenge match. So it's going to be really interesting because we've already seen the same lineups fight against each other, and it's going to be like the rematch. Whoever's like, can Bozo confirm? Can StrikeReaper take back the crown? Let's see. It's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, Bozo 3-0'd him, so I guess StrikeReaper is eager to get his revenge in that one. And it always feels bad when you get 3-0'd, and I don't remember if Bozo told us that it was really one-sided, because sometimes it's a 3-0 but very close games. Sometimes you just lose in like 15 minutes and don't even feel like you played.
Yeah, I did
So-
cast it, but I don't remember it being very close. I think it was pretty one-sided. Yeah. It's the game. It's
Yeah,
you have to deal with the.
I mean, when lineups are so similar, it's usually going to be like, yeah, if you tag two mirrors, like one is going to get a better opener than the other, and usually just go on and take the game. So I don't know how Bozo against which deck Bozo won with the lifesteal Demon Hunter, which is his worst deck.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't. Yeah, should have checked before. I feel like it was against Token Druids, but I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure. Something like that. Maybe Rogue as well.
I mean, in the stats, Token Druid is supposedly is supposed to beat the Demon Hunter, but to me it feels a bit weird. Like Demon Hunter has a lot of good tools against the aggro Druid, like with the 2-mana AOE. Oh, we're actually going into game 1 with Token Druid on the side of StrikeReaper and the Warrior for Bozo. We can see that StrikeReaper has got both Gibberling in hand on turn 1. Those are the good minions you want to see early on, because like they can blow up. Like you can end up having a board full of like 2/2s by turn 2 or 3. But his follow-up is not that great. I think against Warrior, do you think you can afford to just drop the Gibberling on one? The only answer on the Warrior side is the 1/3 that he might coin out. But yeah, he goes with the resizing pouch, which gives you let you choose from 3 cards that cost your current mana left, which is great when you're playing Druid, because like if you play it on 1, you get 3 choices amongst 0 mana cards. When you can get Lightning Bloom, which you got right there, or Innervate, which is also a great card. And on the side, you're gonna be like having a 1/1 Murloc or a 1/1 Demon, which you're never gonna pick.
And I think this is interesting because he doesn't have a big Gibberling cheat start, so he's gonna have to tempo out the Gibberlings, and I'm not sure if he's going to do it before or after the Glowflies. I think you'd rather maybe set up a big Glowfly board and then kind of refill with the Gibberlings once he dealt with the Glowflies.
Yeah. You don't really want to spend spells with the Gibberling when you have Glowfly in hand. Like you can see, Glowfly is the 5-mana card on the right side of Strike's hand, and it's quite an impactful one as it summons the 2/2 for each spell you got in hand. So at the moment it would summon 3 2/2. Oh, actually, it's going for yeah.
Probably going
Like,
for Arbor.
yeah, with
or-
the top deck Innervate, you can go Lightning Bloom, Innervate, and then Harbor up, so give +2/+1 to all minions on the board. So it's gonna be like, yeah.
I think this is the most
2, 4,
explosive.
3, and a 1/1/1. Yeah, that's the best thing you can. Like, it was one of the best top deck the Innervate right there, because that gives him a board that sticks. It goes in way too early for the warrior to have his main clear, which is a Samuro. It's a 4 mana 1/6 that whenever it like Frenzy says if
Whenever it's
Yeah,
dealt damage to.
yeah, no, so Frenzy is like whenever a minion survives the damage
Yeah.
he takes, it's gonna deal
The same
his
amount.
his attack to all the other minions. So usually what you want to do when you're the warrior in the matchup is having a buffed Samuro so that you can clear like a board of 2/2 or 3/3s in one, like it just in one hit. But yeah, obviously on turn 3, like you can see that it doesn't have it. It doesn't have a way of buffing it. Like usually if you want to buff it, you're gonna have to draw it off of the stage dive, or otherwise you're just gonna have a parrot leader in your hand. So there's gonna be a 6 mana combo, which is very hard.
Yeah, it's
So
something you have to
here-
set up in the matchup. So if you don't have it straight away, you still have to kind of tempo and deal with it with other creatures. And here
Yeah,
you do see that there's the pirate as well to refill the weapon, and he's probably going to have enough to deal with the current state of the board.
yeah. His opener was very good. Like coining out the Rokara on turn 2 was crucial here because it allows him to have an extra minion to trade into a minion. So he had the weapon and the 2/3 Rokara, and it made his Wormhole Challenger very good. Like getting buffs while trading means that now he has a 3/4 that trades into the 3/2 nicely. Yeah, Strike is forced to just trade and use the hero power and trade a 3/3. I think the 3/2 is gonna push face. Yeah, like if the warrior wants to spend the weapon there, like you're fine.
Yeah, and you can just refill your weapon as well. And
Yeah, but the problem is like Strike's End at the moment is just weak. Like you can see Glowfly is gonna summon 2 minions at max next turn, so I hope like he's hoping to draw them. There's a 3 mana spell that draws you 3 spell, and if you draw it draws you 3 cards, and whichever minion you draw you discard. But since he had both Gaberling in hand at the start, it doesn't have any minion left in the deck. Like the deck list only runs 2 minion to make sure that that 2 mana spell is as effective as possible. And it's fungal.
yeah, fungal fortunes.
Fungal fortunes, yeah.
I think that's the only way out is to find a good fungal fortunes and having something to refill the board and make it stick.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, if the warrior takes the board and continues to build strong boards, you might have the ability to put a board on your side, but it will be traded right away. Which
Yeah. We can see like in the end Bozo didn't even need Samuro to actually trade the board. Strike did, so I'm wondering whether Strike should have pulled the trigger this early, because in the end like it wasn't lining up that great against what Bozo could do. I think Bozo only plays 1 Wormhole Challenger, so
yeah,
Strike might have felt that if it doesn't have it there, it's still a decent turn. There's not much you can do on 3 with a warrior. Otherwise, I would have dealt with this.
I
And
think the interesting thing as well is Bozo really has the best cards on curve when you don't have to deal with the state of the boards. He can refill his hand. He can do so much.
Yeah, he's developing nicely. Okay, he had the 4 mana on 4, he had the 5 mana on 5, he's got the 6 on 6. Like, he even got the choice between 2 6s.
Yep. And Crash being probably the best turn 6 you could get in this particular matchup. Because the weapon can also, like, refill your weapon, get extra armor to defend.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you play the Claw Machine on next turn if you...
to trade something, or?
No, just because, like, if Strike doesn't do something now, like, it's a 6/3 and not a 3/9.
To set up, yeah.
Yeah, you're just developing much more stats. So you're going to be representing 10, 13, 16, and you get a weapon in hand that you can play thanks to the pirate.
Yeah.
Like, the pirate is going to spawn you a weapon, so that's actually
That would
set
be
up
lethal,
if you go for the 6/3. And like, yeah. On Strike's side, like, as we can see, his hand is still not very good. But like, yeah, he's going to go for 3 Glowflies. And I guess... Okay, there's not even buffing one. It just wants Bozo to do stuff. So I think here, if you're Bozo, I would rather play the Claw Machine, like the 6/3. You send it into a 2/2, like.
Yeah, just take over the board again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you also have the dragon, the 10th Thrasher. That could also be interesting because you could also play it for free with the. If you played a 1 mana spell and the mech.
Yeah. Actually, I counted like shit last turn. You're gonna push damage this turn anyways, so yeah, doesn't really matter if you play the 6/3 or the 3/8. But I think now, yeah, the best developing turn would be going with the athletics. That is to find a new minion Then you can also play the 1/3, the 2-mana 1/3, which is a mech, so that would reduce 10 trashes cost. Oh, we can't see the third one. Oh, actually it's a beast, so you can take
Oh
that
yeah, actually
one,
you could play it for free
you
as
can
well.
play it, so it's a
Almost.
0-mana one, then you play the 2-mana other one, and you get a 2-mana 10 trasher. Is not gonna play the bumper card. Oh, you missed in hero power then. There then. Yeah, you play it. I'm not even sure you trade there. I would have sent them the weapon to the face. That makes 10, 13, 11. Yeah. You put him on 14. You got 10, 11. You got 14 in hand. No, 15 is on 15. Okay.
That was one off, right? Oh well.
Yeah, well, yeah. As we could see, like Strike's End was so shitty that.
And coming back on the board, if you lose the boards for Token Druid, is almost
I mean,
impossible.
you can do stuff. I mean, you won't take back the board, but you can like set up a very big board with if you go maybe like Glowfly and the buff on the side, or if you can play Gibberling and a lot of spells, you can buff your board and hope like if your opponent doesn't a lethal setup, you can hope like that you can counter push with like the solar eclipse and arbor up or something, and just try like the good old days when you would go Savage Roar and just push face with +4 attack on all of your minions. So yeah, I think Strike's opener wasn't really good. Like having both Gibberling with expensive spells on the side is not very good. And I'm not sure if he had to pull the trigger this early. It was good in the sense that it was hard for Bozo to remove something at that moment. As you can see, Bozo is smiling because he's got on the far left of his hand, he's got 2 Skulls of Guldans, which is what you always want to see when you're playing Demon Hunter. Like Skull of Gul'dan, yeah. As you can see, draw 3 cards. Outcast. The Outcast is if the card is on the far left or the far right of your hand, it's gonna have an extra effect, which is on here reducing the cost of the cards by 3, which is amazing in a deck like OTK DH. Like I mean, in any DH, it's very good. Like it had to be nerfed. Like it was 5 mana when they first released it, but I think they patched it in less than a week because it was just bonkers.
I think it's probably one of the best cards they released when they released the DH as well. So
yeah, I'm wondering here, is Bozo gonna run into problems with hand size issues? Like, is he gonna have hand size issues? It's like now he's drawing an extra 1, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the draw. He has to toss. Like,
I think
card.
Shadow Step is a good pick here as well, because you could either put more pressure by Shadow Stepping. Maybe I've seen like Shadow Step Mancrick if you have other cards to draw a bit more afterwards, or also Shadow Stepping the Jandis maybe a bit later and to refill the boards on with more tempo as well. And
I think in this situation, the best target in Strike's End would be the Cult Neophyte, because you know that Demon Hunter is relying mostly on spells and doing things like we said, the Skulls of Gul'dans on Bozo's hand are for sure going out on turn 6. So you want to make sure that you play at least 1 Cult Neophyte before that turn. So you're not gonna play it that turn, obviously, because like Bozo has the Sigil of Flames setup, which is gonna
Octobat, that changes.
Actually, yeah, you can just drop it because Sigil of Flames is a free trigger.
Yeah, and just refill the weapon.
Yeah, I think you just drop it, you face with the weapon and go dagger up again.
Yeah.
And so next turn you can either go Jandis, either go with a crazy draws with the field contract and some of the battle cries you got in hand. And I think next turn, as we said, being able to block the skull means that going Jandis and maybe coining the Cult Neophyte is good.
That would be actually pretty good, I think.
Or if you don't go Jandis, because like if you go Cult Neophyte next turn, you're worried that Bozo is gonna spend a turn clearing with like his AoEs for not like we got to see the in his hand he's got a 2 mana AoE. I don't remember the name.
He has it twice.
Yeah, Immolation. Yeah, he's got it twice now. So I think he's gonna use one now because he needs to empty his hand a bit, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Especially with that 1/3 spell damage, the 2 cost minion, he could actually maybe even throw one because you you probably would draw some extra gas on the skulls as well. Which
Yeah.
you could reuse afterwards, but
Yeah, he
So-
uses the AoE because he might have hand issues next turn if Skull doesn't draw him something that's reduced.
Yeah.
And
So
that he can play on the turn.
this turn I think is making the most aggressive, or the most before Bozo has answers with the skull. That's so easy answers that he could cheat for 0 mana almost. So-
yeah, but I think going with failed contract means that you should get a bigger turn than just a Jandis, because
Yeah,
you're gonna
nice.
go and he even draws the whole Olgra. Yeah.
Which was a
The wife,
3/10.
the Angry Wife, yeah, and he's gonna play a Tenwu so that he can play a Cult Neophyte again.
Nice.
So he's gonna try to make it hard for Bozo to remove that board on the same turn. Is he even gonna Shadow Step it? I was gonna
Shadow Step
the
Tenwu, yeah.
so they can play a Cult Neophyte again? Or is it just gonna keep the Shadow Step Tenwu in hand?
I guess
Okay,
you can keep it for Jandis as well, no? On maybe turn 6, you could create a. You could refill the board right after, or just have a
Yeah.
combo piece with Alexstrasza once you get it.
Yeah. Was it good to just Shadow Step the other 3/2 so that you had it in hand for next turn? Because like if you played on Skull, that mean on 6, that means Bozo can play Skull for 7, or is it? Yeah. In the end, I think that's a pretty
Oh.
much checkmate situation, because Bozo just used both AoEs, and Strike is gonna put it's gonna have a full board this turn. I don't really see what Bozo can do against that. With both
Oof,
AoEs
and
gone.
Alar as well. Alar is
Yeah.
pretty good because you have to clear it twice.
Yeah, actually, just clearing it once on a turn is okay, because the next turn it's gonna be like it's gonna awake, so it's not gonna be able to attack. But
Yeah.
still, that's a 7/3 that's gonna pressure.
And he's gonna draw an extra card with stuff.
I think, I don't really see what Bozo can do off of this. I mean, he's gonna go Skull, hope to draw 3 good cards. Is there a way
He could
kills
combo
him?
soon, but he would die.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
man.
Whoa.
But the problem is like, okay, can you do
you
some
survive?
things?
Yeah.
Can you survive with studies? What's I can't see the right one, but yeah, I think you're dead. Like there's no way. And there's lethal on board, and
That's a
you
really
don't
good
have
setup, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a single answer. If it tries to snipe the thing with the 2-1, can you remove enough? 10, 15, 19, 22. No, it's never gonna be able to.
Yeah.
Like even if you try sniping Halar, thinking Halar is the one that can be killed with only one hit.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really interesting game, exactly, because there was a lot of decisions like shadow stepping, Tenwu. There were so many combinations that
Yeah.
were all good, but which is the best? That's the problem
Yeah.
with Rogue nowadays.
I think, as I said, like going just Jandis might have been a bit too weak against the second AoE, which Strike played around nicely by going with the field contract, playing the Cult Neophyte twice. That meant that Bozo could only play an AoE for, like, he had an AoE for 4 mana, and then what else? What other spells are you gonna play when they all cost 2 more? So yeah, I think the turn he went for was the best one. As for
Yeah.
pressure, and as for playing around what Bozo could do, even though he saw one AoE already, he decided to play around the second one. I think it was wise.
I think it was a good risk reward because if there wasn't the AoE, he could have still continued in comboing stuff, and if there was the AoE, he would just have the good answer by just refilling the boards.
Yeah, like Bozo could have gone for something like Chaos Strike just to get rid of the field contract, but then also that meant that was the only card he would play on the turn. Like it was a 4 mana Chaos Strike, so I think it was good. So here, do you play a Crab Rider just for pressure against Demon and Hunter in a matchup? Yeah.
What do you
He
think about the
doesn't want
matchup? This matchup in general, because it's going to be played a lot during this weekend at the MT because it's 2 decks that were brought a lot, but.
Stats says it's Warrior favored.
Yeah.
I think you need to have a good balance of pressure and refill, like because you can get your board wiped. Like even mid-sized minions with like 4 or 5 health are actually not that hard to remove for DH now that they have the I think is it called I can't remember, like 2 mana 1/3. That makes that your next spell is +2 spell power, so that means that you can combo it with the Immolation Aura for a 6 damage AoE.
Yeah, the talented Arcanist.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you need to have good pressure, but not lose the game on the spot if like the DH can clear your board. I think you can afford to just go play. Oh,
That was played quickly.
yeah, it jammed it.
So yeah, I think the conditioning here is going to be really important, but also you have to. That means you don't have to play many minions because you want to buff a big hand. On the other hand, there's Watley as well on turn 5. So
Yeah,
I guess whatever happens after Watley. And what's interesting is we know that there's only one dragon in StrikeReaper's deck, which is Alex Traza.
well, that's a 10 Trasher that he can play that turn. Yeah,
Nice.
that was a great pickup for Strike. So now that means he has a very good pressure. Next turn he's gonna go Watley to refill the hand and play conditioning to give all his minion +2/+2. It's gonna buff 6 to 7 minions.
And on Bozo's side, there's not a lot of draw, and that's I think he does have some, not many parts, but he already has like 1 or 2 cards that could help the combo afterwards. But he has to draw the key cards, and especially he has to draw them reduced. And I think he's it seems stuck right now, but he does have the study where he could maybe discover a skull.
Yeah, he's got the study.
But what's his hand state right now? How many cards?
Yeah, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, he needs to get rid of some cards before before hoping to be able to play a skull. But right now, what can you dump easily? I think the obvious one would be the 4/4. Like you want to play it so that you can get a discount on your you can discount your morgue. And then what does he have? He's got 2 morgues and 1 talented arcanist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, there's nothing much he could just tempo.
Well, it could go a Sigil of Flames. That would get rid of the 1/3 on the next turn. Yeah, no, it's just gonna drop the Raging Fell Screamer. Yeah, he has to get rid of it. That's a card you want to play in the game because the reduction is pretty important. And yeah, I don't see what very good options he had.
And usually you don't have a really practical turn to play it, so I feel like whenever you have an opportunity, then when it's not too bad, you actually play it. Just as
well, Strike played very quickly for the draw here. Don't know.
I didn't even see him play as it was so quick. So
yeah, was it better than going conditioning and then 2 buffed minions? You could go like Crab Rider and Bumper Car, and yeah, then that would make you pretty weak to an AoE.
yeah, he's probably waiting for an AoE just to be able to refill with a bigger board after the AoE, so he's not in a hurry right now.
Yeah, and like getting value off of the 5 mana 4/5 in that matchup is not happening every time because like DH is not gonna play that much minion. Usually when they play minions, that mean you're dead. So that's one of the few minions he might play beforehand. So yeah, okay. So yeah,
still getting rid of cards in his hand to make some room.
yeah. Bozo's hand is so shitty right now. He needs to draw, but it doesn't really have some. So I guess is it gonna go I-beam on the 3/5 so that the Sigil of Flames just clears the board on the next turn? That would be reasonable in my opinion.
And this
Okay,
is
he's
a
gonna-
cheap way to get rid of stuff in your hand as well.
Yeah, but yeah, now he can't play. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to play that I-beam now.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play it from the other side probably when the combo, when he has enough to hit the combo.
Yeah. It's basically. I think he's hoping to be able to go studies next turn and get a skull and get going from there.
This is
first-
interesting.
So Strike, yeah. Oh,
I was wondering like which of the 2 right minions you would pick, like
yeah.
which big stats you could put on the boards.
Yeah,
quickly?
that's just with the playmaker. It's pretty good. Like it's a. Oh no, it's gonna hit the discount now, but it's a 3/3 for 1 mana, so I'd say it's fairly fine.
This is a huge board, and it feels like so. Yeah, the Murloc doesn't have Wound Fury after it's summoned, 'cause it's a battle cry now, but it's still a big amount of damage that Bozo has to deal with his clunky hands, and also while trying to draw and discover win conditions.
Yeah, like Strike did put enough pressure, like to make sure that Bozo couldn't go with only drawing. Like he has to actually remove stuff. He has had to do that every turn.
Oh,
And so yeah, as we can see, like he's getting combo pieces, but he still doesn't have a way of clearing the board. So he's facing 15.
Plus Troublemaker
yeah,
next turn.
plus Troublemaker. So like if he doesn't get rid of of a single target, like he's dead off of the Troublemaker.
Oof. Is
So
he gonna have to
yeah,
play like a
that's-
beam for 3 mana? It feels
Yeah, but the question is, which one are you gonna play? Like, do you play the one that's stuck after that skull,
Yep.
or are you gonna play the one that's most on the left? Like,
yeah, the outcast
Ne-
order in this deck is so important that if you miss it, you can kind of like you have a clunky combo and you can kind of fizzle if you miss just one outcast. I don't know. What do you think about playing that one? I think now the pressure is so hard that
there are arguments for both. Like, yeah, as we can see, it's gonna be very hard for Bozo to come back from that. But I think he needed
is there a combo
oh.
though? Is there a combo
Oh.
possibility now? Because he has to kind of try right now, or otherwise he's dead next turn. Does he have to just try and just put
So-
everything in?
So Morg, so you can put one Morg for 0, another one for 2.
Oh, but
And
your
then-
I-beam
so
is stuck.
No, it's not, because you can play all of your left side in the hand. Like, you can play it. You can play the Morg, you can play the you can coin, then play the Arcanist, because that would otherwise that would be troublesome, as you would lose the extra
So he's not gonna-
damage. I never play that deck. I hate that deck, so I'm so bad at counting the damage you can do.
The
But
problem
that
with the
would be-
Morgs, they're like he plays the first one for 0, but the second one is gonna be 2 mana as well. So
Yeah.
he can't play that many cards from the.
But you can actually play Morg, the Arcanist, Il'gynoth, and the I-beam, because the I-beam is going to be costing 1, and you're going to use the coin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess
How
that
much?
wasn't much. That wasn't enough damage. Like +2, so that's 5 doubled, 10 doubled, 20. Yeah, that was only 20 damage. So yeah, he's just
Oh,
gonna
well.
go and use it because he needs to clear that 8-10. He's never gonna win. Like, he's dead otherwise. So.
And
like,
we see it on
He is
boards.
dead. Like, yeah, he's hoping that there's no Alex, but no, actually he knows that there's Alex because Strike
He
played
drew it with Watley.
Yeah,
and it's only Dragon. Yeah.
yeah, he actually didn't draw it with the Watley. He drew it the turn he used Watley.
Oh,
so
yeah.
just to deny the extra draw. But yeah, you knew, like, who was knew Strike had it in hand. Yeah, that was a tough game for Bozo. Like, his starting end was pretty shitty. Like, it's what we saw with Strike's Druid in the first game. Like, as I said in the pre-show, I said that yeah, those are two decks that it's usually one-sided. One guy is playing, the other is not really playing, and here that's what happened. Like, he did he draw in Harry?
He didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
I think he had one in hand, one in the starting hand, and I think that was all.
Yeah, okay. He threw it away in the middle.
And he didn't have either draw, either AoEs, so that kind of.
Yeah, those are that's like he fizzled. His hand was just.
So this
pretty
is going to
poor.
be that's his matchup. It's a matchup we've talked about off stream as well, and we anticipated a bit because it feels a bit. We always felt it was 50-50 until the latest data. I feel like on HS replay, and now it feels really token druid favored. But let's see how it ends up.
Yeah, every time I played Token Druid, they got the AoE on my Glowfly, and I'm like, yeah, okay, my deck is shitty. What am I gonna do now? Like, I played the only good card I had, but I guess from the Druid side, you can just wait a bit and go for a turn where you're gonna make it harder for the GH to get rid of your things. So that would be playing either the Gibberling with a lot of small spell and then get like a +1/+3 like the 4-mana spell, or Glowfly and hope to get that you can play the Power of the Wild in the same turn to have a 3/3s.
There's also the Soul of the Forest combo, which you could make sticky minions, and
Yeah.
depending on the state of the hand, if he drew much, he doesn't have like the double AoE, and that's one of the also possibilities for Strike here.
I think it's interesting, like Strike top deck the Gibberling and still instantly played Guess the Weight, so that for me indicates that indeed in that matchup you're looking to do a very big blowout with Gibberling, like just here going Gibberling, Coin, playing another spell. Like he could go Gibberling, Coin, Nature Studies, and the 2-mana spell that's summon 2 1/2s, but that would just line up so well for the Immolation or Bozo got in his hand. We didn't speak much about Bozo's hand, but that's a crazy good one. We're seeing a Skull on
is.
4. Like, he had Spectral Sight outcasted, which left